or and what he was looking at, etc., etc. Basis that somewhere around 10:30 p.m. we gave a mail, just a 3-liner mail, that Mr. So-and-so, you could have a conversation or interaction with him on these 3 points, on these 3 topics. Now we got to do some more research, and this is where we'll be able to crack it. Good part was that, our business head who was in that geography and our CEO, they pick it up, and we really cracked the conversation into that prospect with item number 3, which was being picked up by my CEO. And that, over a period of time, next 2-3 months, resulted in an opportunity which resulted in revenue. So this is a specific example of, so social media helps you triangulate your prospects very well. Now it is up to you, how do you strategize on what parameters you want to, triangulate your prospects. So this was one. Second was, and this has been done numerously, where we want to break into a new geography or with a new product line. We've used LinkedIn research extensively to again come up with our target list. Sizing. So we've used LinkedIn research extensively. Remarketing you spoke about, that's like any given day's job, bread and butter. Even at Kellton, we don't work without remarketing. So these are a few anecdotes which I could share with. It has really worked for us.
Absolutely, I think social media definitely helps. How many of you are in companies where you target a very specific set of target customers, like account-based marketing? I mean, it's really powerful, right? So we are increasingly seeing a lot of customers who come to us and say, hey, this is my product. It is not a $5,000 product. It's like over a $500,000 kind of investment, and this is a list of 200 companies who I know is the target, right? So then you can really hone down on those and do ABM.
So rightly said, when it comes to account-based marketing, social media really plays an important role. And particularly for InsideView, we've not limited social media to just marketing. It's also about social selling, which is now picking up like in the B2B space, like anything. Everybody's talking about that topic, and InsideView has been probably a bit foresighted, and we've been using social selling as a strategy for long. So if I make a claim that most of our SDRs social sell, instead of making cold calls, they're actually making warm calls, wherein they're well informed, they're using the social media listening bit really well. So it wouldn't be like a tall claim to make, because we've been doing it, and that's practice. And it's helped us. It's not only helped us in generating more business, but also retaining the existing business that we have. So I would say that overall social media has helped, and as Satinder rightly pointed out, LinkedIn is a tool that really helps us research the accounts well, and frame our ABM strategy account around those accounts.
So which channel do you invest most of your budget?
I would certainly say from the B2B perspective, it would be LinkedIn.
How about you?
Yeah, exactly. So LinkedIn is where you get maximum precision and maximum ROI.
So LinkedIn definitely wins there. So at this point, let me open up for your question. So your question was?
It was connected to the same, because I was just trying to understand from the IT perspective. Because myself, I go into the LinkedIn groups, and we are a BPM product company. So I go into the BPM groups and try to figure it out, see what people are talking about and what are they discussing, what are their requirements. So based on that, we try to talk to those prospects and try to do the lead generation activity. Those things I normally don't tend to see in the Facebook. That's the reason I just wanted to put that question in such a way that how Facebook is going to help the IT industries, from especially when you are selling an IT product.
So see, when you talk about my earlier comment was, social media is not about the slot machine, right? You just can't put the coin in and get the bottle of water. So that's not going to be the case. It's not exactly a slow burner, but it takes time. Specifically about Facebook, and many people have said this before me, is that Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Okay, we have to follow G+. Because of your search engine ranking. I'm not a big proponent of it. But these are the 3 properties we really go after. So Facebook is a very different level of interaction with very different level of mindsets. But when you're trying to do lead generation, you are also trying to observe. and then try to target the person or the prospects for specific conversation. That's how the typical process of lead generation is. If you were to compare it in a mall situation, there the showroom person is also trying to figure it out. The moment you reach closer to the rack, he comes and this is the latest shirt. So you're just waiting for the right time. But in order to do that, you need to observe your prospect. So Facebook allows a brilliant opportunity for you to observe. I'm not so far commenting about the Facebook advertising. That is definitely a done thing with targeting, etc. You can do that. But in a more organic manner, Facebook allows you to observe very clearly. And then you can actually, over a period of time, you will develop that insight and to figure out when to strike a conversation. And people have done it successfully. I'll give you my own example. So I am the buyer for marketing technology in my previous role and in my current role, whether that is CMS or automation platform or sales platforms. So today is Thursday. Tuesday evening, I got a LinkedIn message saying that, from marketing, Eileen, someone saying that congratulations on the role. Now, so this is the beauty of the message. That's why I want to highlight. Congratulations on the role. I've taken the role about 3 months back. Hope you're settled in. Now, typically it's a done thing. First 90 days and then you're settled. So that means they were observing me. And then she gives reference of my past organizations and makes the conversation extremely meaningful. So this is a message in LinkedIn. She chose LinkedIn to send me the message. You could choose Facebook to send the same message out. But this has resulted in a positive response from me. I'm a buyer. So these are the ways where you could do Facebook in a lead gen stuff. Second, you could showcase your organization on Facebook in a very progressive manner. Facebook is a brilliant way to showcase your organization. Third, your employees are maximum on Facebook in their personal time. You could leverage that to create what Forrester called the groundswell. Okay, so you can bolster your presence on social media big time through Facebook, and you have so many positive brand ambassadors hidden in your organization who will be absolutely willing to talk positive about the company that they work for, right? So these are the ways where you could leverage in a systemic manner.
To add to just what Satinder said, see, ultimately you are dealing with individuals, right? And you're dealing with humans. So no platform is a bad platform. And when it comes to particularly startups who are just going on, and like the CEO himself is probably going on and doing the social media efforts, taking care of those things, then it matters more that what are you comfortable on, because maybe you're not comfortable on Twitter and still you think that your competitors are using Twitter. It might not be the best thing for you to do because you wouldn't be consistent, you wouldn't be interested in doing it, and you wouldn't be regular in doing it. If you don't do something well, it's better to be on a platform that you're more comfortable with, where you enjoy doing it yourself. Because when you hand it over to the experts, then probably they would select the best platform that will give you the best results. But when a person is doing on their own, it's important to choose a platform that you can consistently contribute to. And ultimately, of course, those are individuals and they are the decision makers there. If you can engage on any platform, it's not a bad platform to be on.
Can I just add one more thing here, which is again my bit of learning, is that people work with people. That is important, irrespective of hierarchies and the organizations. And in any buying situation, which is people work with people, even if in buying shows, do the bespoke B2B products. And that's again the beauty of which Garima highlighted. That's what social media allows you to connect with people. So again, it's up to you how do you want to leverage that.
Absolutely. I think it's the numbers are there, right, and the individuals are there. And if I can just use an analogy, it's like this conference happening here. You could say this is sort of like LinkedIn, right? Everyone's prepped. You come to work hard and everything, and learn something, right, from others and peers. And probably after this event, when you have tea or some networking or cocktails, that's like Facebook. It's slightly more casual, but it's the same people, and it's how you use the message. One example that even we have is one of our customers who's into HR placement support, right? It's about, there are very interesting businesses in the world. So this company actually helps companies get rid of employees. Okay, as in what they do is they help them find another job. And they do it in a way that there is no bad blood between the company and the employees. Right? So it's called, it's a fairly large company. It's part of Randstad Group. Right? Have you seen the movie Live Up or something?
Up in the air.
Up in the air, yeah, up in the air, right? It's the same thing. And so they created a very nice video which said that losing need not be an end, it's a start. Right? Losing a job need not be an end, it can be a start. And a very nice video, with people and everything. And they promoted it both on LinkedIn and Facebook. And the response on Facebook was also pretty amazing because it was targeted towards HR. Right? So you need to change your content, your asset based on which channel you're using. So that's one question. Okay. The other thing, now we know all the good things and everything. So as practitioners in this, are there things to watch out for? I'm sure we all learn from our mistakes. So are there anything that you want to share in terms of where things went bad and hey guys, you should not do this?
Yeah, sure. So this is from a previous organization, and probably some 7-8 years back. Social media was just picking up in the B2B industry, and not everyone was really for it. So when we decided that we'll be using social media for our marketing efforts, then it's like, who do we get to do this? Do we get a team itself to learn, and then the learning curve is going to be quite large, and how do we do it? So we went for an agency to do it. So I just don't want to offend any of the agencies present here, but the mistake that we made was that we left the entire thing only to agencies. So when you do that, you're essentially losing an opportunity there, because social media is something that allows you to defy all the boundaries and connect directly with your customer, with your prospects, and engage directly. No one knows your brand better. Somebody who might be an expert can help you with that activity, but at the same time, you have to engage with your audience directly. And that was very important. We left everything to the agency, and and they were driven mobile numbers, as in like bringing you X number of followers on Facebook, Twitter, or likes and shares, all those things. But that didn't really result in any sort of engagement that we wanted, and the particular sort of engagement that we wanted from our ideal customer profiles. So that is a mistake I would say we made. I would just say that it's like being in the same house with your spouse and using social media or Facebook to express your love. When you have the opportunity to express it directly, why don't use that opportunity?
Yeah, so 2 or 3 things that one has been able to avoid and then learn also. So if there are 10 most important requirements for social media, top 3 are content. Don't even attempt a social media initiative. See, presence is different, initiative is different. Don't even attempt a social media initiative without decent content. Now, decent is a very subjective word. Again, I'll leave it to your judgment what's decent. But if you really want to figure out what's a decent level of content, look at your competition. Look at your best competition. And if you're a leader, then look at some parallel industry to figure out what's the decent level of content, which is quantum and depth. Both is needed. Second, as a marketer, you get pushed by sales, by business to get onto the bandwagon. Don't ride the bandwagon of a social media platform. So for example, if you're not on Twitter, don't just jump on Twitter if you're not ready. Please be ready first. Get your back end ready, because the way you respond on LinkedIn versus the way you respond on Twitter are far different. So if you don't have a resource, for example, let's say if there is a dedicated resource that is needed, if you don't have it, get that first before you get there. So don't make any social media decision in haste, because what Garima said, you leave this footprint permanent. You really can't erase that handle or hashtag. If you made a mistake, there are enough people out to make sure that it lives and gives you grief. I have given grief to so many brands myself using it. So just be absolutely prepared before you hitch on to a new social media platform. It's very enticing, all the new platforms are coming up. Sales will ask for something, business will ask for something, organization will ask for something. But you as marketer have to be, hold on to your ground and don't yield until the time you're perfectly ready. Those are the two things.
Any questions you guys have?
Point you just mentioned, the point you just mentioned about giving grief to others.
Yeah.
That's the other side of social media. So
yes.
We've been talking all this time about pushing our products or services to the public. Now, competition can take it upon themselves to give grief to others.
Yes.
Now, other than good content, what other techniques, regulations, or ethics are we talking about in handling this grief?
Oh yeah, I think excellent point, excellent question here. Make sure, see, with social media, you get a lot of democracy, a lot of empowerment. Make sure that you have a reasonably tight social media policy for your organization, because misuse is rampant, and ability to misuse and give grief is also very high. So that's one. Your social media policy has to be important. Your norms have to be very important. Second part is the ability to respond, because most of the reputation dent can be stopped if you respond appropriately and well in time. So your responsiveness, because you're absolutely right, there is competition out there. There are your brand lovers and there are your brand haters, which you don't control. So when you're out there in social media, you really are, fighting it out open from all sides. So your ability to respond is important. So that is where your social media policy and processes are very important. And that is why I said that unless you are ready for the social media, don't jump. So that is the second part. Third, definitely I told you about the content, right? And fourth is, be prepared for eventuality. Do create scenarios. Again, I will not name the brand, but in past life, I have created social media fiasco scenarios in boardroom for the leadership. I've actually simulated that for the leadership, saying that, okay, if this was the fiasco that happened, how are we going to be responding? And there are enough examples of various controversies out there where you see when they have responded fast versus when they have some other kind, when they have responded late, or the manner in which they responded and the reputation took a dent or was saved from taking a dent. So these are the few things I can think of top of my head right now.
Yeah, most certainly, I would say that you shouldn't be worried of negative comments as such, because it is part and parcel of the game, and you cannot control it. Rather, you should not be controlling the negative comments or something. Even your blogs, you get to moderate the comments, but I would suggest that if you do get any negative comments, you should not really delete those or avoid those, because that is again going to create a dent on your reputation itself. Because the person who does not get a response and his comment is deleted would certainly write on other platforms about you, and ultimately you'll be impacting your own reputation. So the best way is to be responsive and respond in a manner that you're trying to address the problem, or you're accepting. If it is a problem, then you're accepting it and you're ready to address it. And if it's not a problem, you could go ahead and clarify and do whatever you can to kind of pacify the customer or the prospect, or that's what I would say.
Absolutely, that's an entirely new, service that's there, right? Reputation management. And we also, at least in this workshop, just a quick thing that we are covering a lot of the paid part of things, the paid social, not necessarily the community management part, just as a. But I'll second your things on things not to do in terms of involvement, because social media is so personal that you need to be really involved. What content goes there, you need to build it. And typically for all companies that do social media tweets on a regular basis, I'm sure you guys also do, would have a calendar with what you're going to post well in advance, right? What, when. I mean, some of those will be for immediate stuff like responding to something, right? So respond to this, but you always have a proper calendar. Any more questions for our panelists in terms of?
I would like to ask one thing. I'm coming from a company named as Big Data Business. We are a data analytics company, and I've been working with this company since 2012, and I have been a part of the sales and marketing team.
concurrently. But for me, there are 2-3 questions just I want to put to the panel. Why? Because social media is like good. It's good enough for the B2C marketing. But when you come to B2B marketing and going to the countries like the US, wherein you want to have the clients on enterprise level, it's very difficult. So firstly, my question to the panel is that how many decision makers do really log in into social media? Though they have their accounts, they have their various presence on various big junctures, but I'm not pretty sure that how much they really log into that and how much decision makers are like taking it seriously. My second question to it is that coming to the social media, what has been the success ratio in converting marketing to sales? Because why? Because I have been into the marketing team, but conversion ratio has not been great. So for a company like us who are in IT and analytics, so it works for us through connections only till date. But social media, if you talk about numbers, we don't